The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, first of all, I want to give a big shout out to Bay to Bay Boxing Gym. Shout out to my main man Jeff Ports and Kevin Gleason. I've started training here. Today's my second day back in the gym. I was here on Friday. I'm back here again on Tuesday, trying to get into the swing of things and just, train, get in shape for a couple of reasons. Number one, to just mentally be as sharp as possible, because when I am training, my videos are better, believe it or not. And on top of that, this helps me to understand the sport on a deeper level, and I'm very much keen to learning about boxing by doing boxing, and it's good for me. So yeah, I love this gym. It feels like home. It's small, it's intimate. They got a Romo Gonzalez picture on the wall. It's a great gym. Great trainers, great people. Blake Davis, Rob Duran Jr., some decent fighters in the local area as well. But I wanted to talk about Tyson Fury. He's got his upcoming fight coming up with Ajit Cabello. Now, as far as that fight, I'm obviously not the most excited for, because Ajit Cabello is not the kind of opposition we want to see Tyson Fury in the ring with. He's going to be an inferior opponent. Yes, this is heavyweight boxing, and yes, crazier things have happened in the past, but this is a fight that he should win, no problem. The positive about this fight is the fact that, one thing that we've always criticized Tyson Fury about, whether it was, like early in his career, was the fact that he never stayed active. He was never active. He never stayed in shape. He ballooned up, came back down, ballooned back up. So now it seems like Tyson Fury's turned that corner in his career, where he's in a regimented program. He's training regularly. He's overcame his demons. He's a disciplined, mature man and a heavyweight. You see what I'm saying? So that's one thing that I'm happy about for Tyson Fury. The second thing I'm happy about for Tyson Fury is the fact that, this is his second training camp with the great Sugar Hill Steward, and I had the honor and the privilege to watch Sugar Hill Steward right up the road here. I'm in Hollywood, and not too far away is a place called Warriors Boxing Gym. And Sugar Hill Steward was here for a couple of months, working with local fighters and some of the Eastern European fighters that train down there. And I had a chance to see why. He was so successful with Tyson Fury, because he's very detail-oriented, and any great trainer is very detail-oriented. Sugar Hill Steward is very detail-oriented. Like this gym that I'm in right now, the world might not know who, you can't see him on the poster, but the world might not know who Jeff Ports is, but I've had a chance to know Jeff Ports, a great local trainer down here, and he's the same way, detail-oriented. All the great trainers in boxing are detail-oriented. So I'm looking forward to seeing how Tyson Fury continues to make that transition from a guy who, early in his career, he was kind of a reckless, like if you go back and you watch his fight to Nevin Pajic and Nikolai Furta and them guys when he was getting dropped and hurt constantly. Tyson Fury was a guy that came out, he fought you, and on top of fighting you, he didn't really have he wasn't the most technically sound at the time, so it made him more vulnerable. Then he went from that to becoming a guy who learned how to fight off of his back foot. He learned how to jab and lean off the jab, and he kind of perfected that in using his speed. So his speed and his size blended together made him a very dangerous fighter. And now he's in that transition from going from that to a kind of like a Kronk gym fighter. Sugar Hill Steward, and you saw it in that fight, Sugar Hill Steward has implemented a style in Tyson Fury to where he's coming forward. He's fighting like how God made him to fight. A 6'9", 265, 70-pound monster leaning on top of you, and now he's learning to throw a really beautiful, sharp, steak knife sharp, straight right hand. And you guys know, if you know me, I'm a sucker for a straight right hand. I love fighters who can throw the straight right hand. And he throws a beautiful straight right hand. And you saw towards the end of that Wilder rematch, he was just getting his timing down. He was starting to understand more and more as that fight went on. His punching power range, as Sugar Hill Steward calls it, his punch power range, and he was really, piecing him up, touching him upstairs, downstairs, stabbing him. He was doing all kinds of beautiful things. So what can we look forward to in this fight with Tyson Fury and Ajit Cabello? I think what we could look forward to is the continuation of the reformation of Tyson Fury. I like how that sounds. I'll say it again for the slow kids in the back of the bus. The continuation of the reformation of Tyson Fury's style. His style is changing. He's changing. He's maturing. He's getting better, and he's becoming a more vicious fighter. And he's the kind of fighter that, with his speed, with his size, with his unique gifts, You know, he's going to take a lot of fighters into some deep, dark, and uncomfortable places that we talk about here on True School Sports. He's going to beat up a lot of fighters. So I'm looking forward to seeing if he can finally shed this problem he's had his whole career of where he fights at a high level in the big fights, at his best level in the big fights, and then fights down to a level of competition in the fights that he's favored to win. This is going to be a test for Fury. You know, Cabello, he's not no world beater, but he's not no bum either. People might say he's a bum because he's not Joshua, he's not Wilder, he's not Andy Ruiz, he's not those guys, but he's going to come to fight, and Tyson Fury cannot have a letdown. And that's probably the number one thing I'm looking forward to is seeing just what kind of changes and what kind of improvements did Sugar Hill Steward and Tyson Fury make in this second training camp. Because in the first training camp, we saw it. But now they've had more time to work together. They seem to have good chemistry outside of boxing, which many times can translate inside of boxing when you go in that ring. And they seem to have that mutual respect, which is the most important thing. When you go into that ring, right? When you step into that ring, you know, you are a millisecond or a wrong millisecond away from your life changing, potentially dying, potentially having brain damage. All kinds of things can happen in this boxing ring, and you need to have somebody that you need to have somebody in your corner that respects you and you respect them. That, you know, and you guys can be on one accord. So, yeah, man. Like seeing Sugar Hill Steward work with fighters here in Southwest, seeing how he improves fighters with my own eyes. You know, it's just I'm looking very forward to seeing what kind of adjustments and changes and improvements, more importantly, that Tyson Fury's made into this fight going with Ajit Cabello. And then after that, after he hopefully knocks out Ajit Cabello and looks sensational, maybe we get a Joshua fight. You know, fingers crossed for that one. But yeah, so I'm gonna leave it at that. December 5th, Tyson Fury versus Ajit Cabello. Not the fight I'm most excited for, but it will be the continuation, let's say it again, the continuation of the reformation of Tyson Fury with the Kronk Style. If you don't know what the Kronk Style is a style where you take these boxing gloves, you use them to the best of your abilities, and you don't leave it in the hands of the judges. You come forward, you throw a straight right hand, a power jab, a left hook, and you're looking to put people out. And you know that's gonna make Tyson Fury not just a factor in the heavyweight division, but a household name as he continues to progress his career. So I'm gonna go take a shower because I'm sweaty, but another day back in the boxing gym. It's good to be in the boxing gym again and try to get some discipline going in my life, because I'm not the most disciplined person, but we made it here today, and I'm very excited about that. So shout out to Jeff Ports and Beta Bay Boxing Gym, and shout out to Tyson Fury and Sugar Hill Steward. Looking forward to the fight on December 5th. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Take the time to subscribe. But like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.